Cody Rhodes has made a career out of walking into the fire, but when Randy Orton stands across the ring with that cold stare and that calculating intensity, even the American Nightmare knows he's stepping into something dangerous. Last night on SmackDown, we witnessed a moment that reminded us why these two men represent the absolute peak of what professional wrestling storytelling can be, and if you've been sleeping on this rivalry, you're about to understand why the wrestling world won't shut up about it. Stick with me because we're breaking down exactly what makes this confrontation so compelling. Randy Orton exists in a space that very few wrestlers can occupy. He's a third-generation superstar who has earned his place through sheer technical excellence and psychological mastery, but what makes him truly dangerous is his ability to make you question your own mortality just by looking at you. When Cody Rhodes decided to step into that ring with him, he wasn't just accepting a physical challenge, he was accepting an invitation into one of the most mentally taxing matches professional wrestling has to offer. Randy doesn't need to scream or posture. He doesn't need to break kayfabe or resort to gimmicks. The Viper simply exists, and that existence is enough to make you believe that you're in genuine danger every single second you share the ring with him. Cody, on the other hand, embodies a completely different philosophy. He's the guy who walks toward the conflict rather than away from it. He's built his entire narrative on the principle that backing down isn't an option, that no matter how much pain is coming his way, he's willing to meet it head-on because that's what separates legends from everyone else. There's something almost honorable about it, something that harks back to the great territorial wrestlers who understood that wrestling was about proving yourself in front of the people who doubted you. When Cody enters a ring against someone like Randy Orton, he's not just accepting a match, he's accepting a chance to prove that all those accolades, all those main events, all those moments that made him the American Nightmare actually mean something when the stakes are at their highest. What's particularly fascinating about this specific encounter is the way it operates on multiple levels. On the surface, you've got two elite-level workers coming together to have a professional wrestling match. But beneath that surface, you're watching a story about legitimacy, about who truly deserves to be called the best version of themselves in this moment. Cody has been on an absolute tear, moving through competition with the kind of precision that suggests he's finally understanding the next level of his own capabilities. But Randy Orton doesn't stay at the top of this business for nearly 2 decades by accident. Every moment, every gesture, every calculated movement from the Viper is designed to remind the world that experience and psychological warfare are just as important as physical conditioning. The physicality of their exchanges is absolutely brutal in the best possible way. When Cody cuts Orton off with those launching clotheslines, you see someone who's built himself into a lethal force through sheer determination and refinement. His offense has this incredible snap to it, this sense of purpose that makes you believe every single move is designed to break down his opponent and move closer to victory. But Randy's counteroffensive is where you really start to understand the depth of what he brings. The RKO isn't just a finishing move, it's a constant threat that exists in Randy's back pocket at every single moment. You never know when it's coming, and that's the actual psychological warfare that separates the true masters of this business from everyone else. Cody could be in control, could be dictating the pace, and yet one split-second lapse in judgment and everything changes in an instant. What makes this storyline particularly compelling is the narrative weight that both men bring to the table. Cody is fighting for validation, fighting to prove that he's not just a main event player but a transformative force in whatever company he calls home. There's a desperation to his offense, an urgency that suggests he understands exactly how much this moment means to his overall legacy. He's not wrestling just to win, he's wrestling to make a statement. Randy, conversely, is wrestling from a place of controlled dominance. He's not desperate. He doesn't need to prove anything anymore. What Randy is doing is reminding the world why he's been at the absolute peak of this industry for so long. His calm in the storm, his ability to make correct decisions under pressure, his willingness to attack the legs and the neck with surgical precision, these aren't just moves in a match, they're demonstrations of a mind that never stops calculating. The emotional intelligence required to tell this story the right way cannot be overstated. You need two workers who understand that professional wrestling is about making people believe in the reality of the situation. Cody and Randy both understand this on a cellular level. Every strike, every hold, every moment of recovery communicates exactly what you need to understand about these two competitors. Cody is the bright-eyed challenger who believes that his moment is now, that destiny is something you seize rather than wait for. Randy is the veteran who has seen hundreds of challengers come and go, and he knows exactly what it takes to survive in this business when everyone else is gunning for your spot. The finishing sequence of their encounter demonstrated everything you need to understand about why these two particular wrestlers are capable of having matches that genuinely matter. There's no exaggeration here, no reliance on weapons or distractions or any of the shortcuts that wrestlers sometimes use when they don't trust their own ability to create drama. It's just two professionals in a ring, making split-second decisions and responding to each other with the kind of believability that makes you forget you're watching a predetermined performance. That's the highest level of professional wrestling, that's the art form at its absolute finest, and both Cody and Randy delivered it in spades. What this encounter ultimately tells us is that we're in an era where the ceiling for excellence in professional wrestling continues to rise. These aren't wrestlers just going through the motions. They're not collecting paychecks. They're artists who understand that every single match is an opportunity to prove something, to tell a story that matters, to create a moment that people will remember. Cody Rhodes vs. Randy Orton isn't just a wrestling match, it's a masterclass in professional wrestling psychology, and it's exactly the kind of encounter that reminds you why you fell in love with this business in the first place. This is the kind of storytelling that WWE Express is all about, and if you're not following this narrative closely, you're missing some of the most compelling wrestling television being produced right now. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below letting me know what you think about this rivalry and where you think it goes from here. The conversation is just getting started.